Alright, what's up guys? So we're back with another Mojo video, and today this one's going to be purely focused on gameplay. So starting it out here, we're deep in Realm of Legends. We're going to be taking on big bad Wolverine with Mojo here. So, I had a theory that Mojo could do this fight. Wasn't sure if he actually could or not. And again, this was like I only played with Mojo one day. It was the day before I was supposed to upload this video. Yesterday for you guys watching on Saturday, because I'm a procrastinator and I do everything at the last minute usually. So yeah, I've only played with Mojo for like maybe an hour at this point, so forgive me, I'm not the best Mojo player, and I could have done this fight a lot better. It was a good learning experience. Definitely some mistakes here and there, which I'll point out when they get made. My phone also went to low battery. That's always great in the middle of a fight. At least it was during the L3. And I didn't mean to use an L3 here either. I got a little bit too much power. But as you can see, I am at 4 persistent charges right now, so I start the fight with 4 million followers already, which is really nice, because I only have to complete one prompt, and then I'm at 5 million, which is what you want. You can get above 5 million, but it doesn't really matter after 5 million. So yeah, we gotta dodge a hit for the next prompt. Boom. That's really simple. So pretty much for this fight, what you gotta do is, you see the little poison green sign you see under my Mojo? That's my anti-life field. And while that's active, Wolverine's buffs, all of his buffs, will have a 90% reduced duration. So his regen will be cut by 90%, which is great. And I'm also getting Mystic Dispersion from that, so that's just giving me more L2s to fire off, so that's also great. Also placing hater buffs on the opponent, which is what you get once you reach 5 million followers. So that's sweet, man. That's just more buffs for me to get. And again, if the buffs trigger while the anti-life field is up, then 90% reduced duration, which just means more power gain. So I do make some mistakes in this fight. I think it's coming up here. He's gonna get some regen here, right there. Boom, look at that. He got a ton of regen there because I hit him when I didn't have my anti-life field up. So he got a regeneration stack that was at 100% duration instead of 90% reduced duration. So you really got to keep an eye on that. Right here I get Punish Special Attack. This is my least favorite prompt, I think. I don't like it. So I just go for a heavy attack here to change it, because yeah, I hate that one. So here, use special attack. I bait out his special attack. Perfect. And as you can see, I'm also regenning up. I got hit a little bit at the start of the fight, but I've been regenning little by little. And yeah, man, that passive regen is nice. It's based off of lost health, so it gets better the more you need it. The lower your health gets, the better the regeneration is going to be. So yeah, it depends, but it's definitely very useful, especially if you're going to be running the suicide masteries. It really helps to negate that. So yeah, as you can see, during this fight, we can keep up the anti-life field for a really long time. And against an opponent that has so many buffs, it's really easy to just launch off so many specials with Mystic Dispersion. It's really great, man. I really do enjoy using Mojo, and I can't wait to see what kind of numbers we're going to be getting from a 565. Really the degeneration numbers. And also the Fury buff that Mojo gets, because that Fury buff that we get whenever the anti-life field is active is about 2500 attack. Right here I screwed up again, and I launched my special. I thought I could keep the anti-life field up, but I couldn't, and he got off 2 regeneration stacks, healed up a ton, so that was annoying. Like I said, this was my first time doing this fight with Mojo, and I've only played with him for about an hour, so still learning a bit here and there. Definitely a good experience. I get clipped by Wolverine's L2 here, just a little slow on the dash back, but it's okay. So I'm gonna launch my special 2 here right before I get pushed to an L3. That was pretty close. And we're gonna get close to another special 2 here, hoping for some hater buffs or some regeneration buffs to apply, but got a little lucky on the RNG there. So here I have hold block as my next prompt. There we go, got it done nice and quick. And we're right back into the anti-life field and back into having that Fury buff. So yeah, like I said, it's really easy to keep up. Here we have idle, so I just need to stay still for a second. I did it after baiting a special attack. That's also one of my least favorite prompts. I don't like idling. Just standing still without having your block up, that's just not something you want to do in a fight typically. So I don't know. It's weird. That's one of my least favorite things with Stark Spidey 2, to refresh the taunt, just to idle. I never enjoyed doing that. Yeah, so I've learned from my mistakes after Wolverine healed up a couple times. I'm not gonna make that mistake again here. I'm just gonna block that L2. But yeah, he's almost down here. We got the anti-life field up. We're gonna drop one more L2, and his degen should do the trick. He's degenning down, and he's dead. So Mojo can definitely take on Realm of Legends Wolverine. Fight could have been a lot better, but we still got her done. 221 hits. I'll take it, man. I'll take it. Now, next up, I wanted to showcase Black Bolt here. And so now at this point, I have my 5 persistent charges. So that means I'm at 5 million subscribers. So that means I start the fight with 5 million followers. And I don't have to complete prompts at this point, because my followers can't go below 5 billion. But you still want to be completing prompts to keep up the anti-life field and keep that fury up, because that fury, man, it gives you the big numbers. Yeah, keeping up the anti-life field, man, it's good for the degeneration as well, and making those buffs go bye-bye real quick, those hater buffs. But I wanted to highlight this fight because Black Bolt here gets permanent buffs. So this is a matchup where Mojo struggles with a little bit. For this example, I mean, it doesn't really matter if Black Bolt has buffs, right? Like, oh no, he has 3 cruelty buffs. That doesn't affect me in any shape or form. But for example, in a matchup where the opponent gets a permanent unstoppable buff, let's say, or I don't know, yeah, well, the Luke Cage in the Abyss, right? He gets a permanent unstoppable and unblockable buff, and the only way to get rid of them is to intercept him, and they can be nullified. I was nullifying them with like Dr. Doom and stuff, but Mojo would really struggle there because the only way for him to nullify those kind of buffs is through his L1. So that'd be a matchup where it really sucks. But you know, in matchups where there's permanent buffs, but it doesn't really matter, like here, you know, it's fine. We're still applying the hater buffs, which give us Mystic Dispersion and everything like that. Yeah, it's definitely a weak point. It just kind of depends on the champion and what kind of buffs they're getting. But the 90% reduced duration is really good in some matchups. Like, I feel like Mojo could be pretty good versus the 6.2 champion. And I never tested it because I don't like bringing in a rank 3 champ. You know, if I'm gonna bring a champ to that fight, I'm there to try to solo it, and you know, I want to have ideally a rank 5 champion. So yeah, I think he could do it at rank 5 for sure if you played it right, because you could get those get his buffs to all just fall off like that. That'd give you a burst of power through Mystic Dispersion and everything. Get that degen really going. The only thing you might have to be a little bit worried about is some of the prompts you might get. You get a little unlucky, like I don't even know what would be bad in that fight. It depends. You get a wrong prompt at the wrong time, but you could also have him built up to 5 persistent charges at that point, so you wouldn't have to complete them. I think you could do it. But yeah, this Black Bolt going down. So these 2 fights were without suicides, so you can see that was Mojo with class advantage and everything without suicides, 134 hits. Now let's see what he can do with class advantage, but with full suicides. So my health is also a little low. So this fight, we're gonna really test out Mojo's regen to see how good it is. I go into this fight at 30% health. Let's see if I can even survive, because typically you go into a fight with 30% health with a non-suicide friendly champ with no immunities, you might die. There's a good chance you'll die. Yeah, we're gonna see here. So I am only at 2 persistent charges, so I start the fight with 2 million followers. So I'm gonna need to complete a couple of the prompts to get up to 5 million. There's 2 prompts complete, just waiting for my anti-life field to take off. Then just dash backwards. That's probably my favorite prompt. You just swipe back once and you complete it. It's like, okay, that's a sweet one, you know. So yeah, boom. Now we're up at 5 prompts. And so we're going to be dropping these L2s. You can see that DJ is taken for 1765. Some pretty nice damage there. But the suicides is going to be killing us, but we're going to be regenning up. So that regen, you know, it's nice. It's going to keep us from falling below 10%, hopefully. But with all these special attacks, I don't know, who knows, man. Each special attack is 5% recoil, so got to be careful here. We got the idle. There we go, got that done. There we go, she got a hater. and then the hater gives us regen. My regen expires, another hater expires, boom, more regen. So you can kind of keep that cycle of regeneration going. And yeah, we're staying around this 10 to 16% health range, which is not bad. You know, we're not dying, which is good. Our medium attacks are hitting for about 5k damage as a rank 3 5-star, which is pretty impressive because that Fury buff gives a lot of attack. I'm really interested to see what kind of damage a 565 is going to be hitting for. Like, yeah, he should definitely be able to do 10k with class advantage and suicides, so you can probably get that number pretty high, which is pretty impressive just for his base damage. Not to mention all that degeneration damage. I think Mojo has some really great potential for damage output, which is what I like to see. So here, this one's a little tricky. It's end buff, but you can just get a dexterity on yourself and then hit the opponent, and boom. It's a quick way to get that prompt done. So right here, I go for an L3. I'm not sure if I did it on purpose or on accident. My health was a little low, but it's been low. I do like the L3. It's pretty funny. You're playing a mobile game and the character is using a phone. Playing a mobile game, kind of dropping little thumb downs on the opponent. I don't know. It's silly. It's fun. And I like his heavy attack too. The animations on this guy are great, but he's so gross. Like, he's like farting everywhere right now, man. Like, oh, this guy is disgusting. If I had to fight anyone in this game, if I was in this game and I had to fight anyone, I would not want to fight this dude, man. Whew, that would be an annoying fight, man. Ugh, it stink. But, yeah, the damage output is pretty solid here, man. This Captain Marvel is almost dead. Could have gotten some more degen damage if I just went for more L2s instead of going for that L3, but it's all good. There's just the damage showcase with class advantage and with suicides. So yeah, hope you guys did enjoy this Mojo gameplay video, pure gameplay. Let me know your guys' thoughts on Mojo. Are you excited for him? What do you think of his damage output? Do you think he contends with Longshot? I think he's a contender, but I think Longshot's damage potential is just way higher. But I do need to see both champs at a 565 range to really see what their caps are, right? 565, 6200, what kind of damage output they're really pumping out. But that's going to do it, guys. Drop a like if you did enjoy. Share this video with your alliance mates. Mojo is coming to the contest soon as a playable character. Thank you guys so much for watching. Peace out.